would say it's been a successful partnership through those years. It's just like it's an enabler that requires other enablers. It needs an enabling environment to come, but UNIDO has committed to working with us on that. I'll be discussing that further with them in the meetings we have.
Find the necessary financing for the industrialization of our continent, Africa.
Getting funding in order to finance projects on the continent, how challenging is it?
How much time do I have? 2 hours? My broader point about that is that perhaps we need to think more carefully when we talk about financing development. And I'll give you some basic numbers. If you take the total amount of foreign aid last year, it was 135 billion. 135 billion, total amount of foreign aid for the entire world. Well, if you compare that to foreign direct investment, which is about $1.5 trillion, to $2 trillion, you can see right there that foreign aid will never do it. Foreign aid is useful, but it can only complement a strategy which I think should be geared towards attracting foreign direct investment.
There has been major economic reforms that is bringing back foreign direct investment and private sector participation.
Especially in areas of infrastructure, there is still significant issues, both in terms of access to long-term funding, but also the way some of this funding mix is available. Most of the funding domestically are short-term. Most of the development partners' funding also have a number of other issues that are associated with them.
I want to hear from the Nigerian Minister for Industrialization, who, by the way, Nigeria, Miss Jordan, you were asking. Nigeria recently surpassed South Africa as Africa's largest economy.
I think what is obvious, that I've listened quite carefully, is that there is broad agreement on what works. Notice that there wasn't a lot of debate, ideological debate, some saying go left, some saying go right, some saying going backwards. And for me, that's an important step in the right direction. It is clear from everybody that has spoken that we know that partnering with private capital is essential for development, for industrialization for Africa. It is clear that beyond private capital, you might also add development capital like UNIDO and some of the other strategic partners we have. Which then leads me to where I think the real challenge is, which is how do we create this right environment where this can be accelerated in terms of the enabling environment. And by that I mean things like the right infrastructure we've talked about, whether it's soft or hard. And I do agree with Professor Lin that it is better to do it in pieces, maybe special economic zones or industrial parks. But for me, really, what it comes down to is implementation. I spent many years in the private sector, and I always tell people, rather than debating the final points, why don't we agree to implement the things we agree on? If Africa did the things we agree on, I think we'll be well on our way. And I'm confident that I know most of my counterparts, including those on the panel, and I'm confident that we have the right type of leadership. And I'm actually positive, because I'm very people-centric in my attitude to thinking about the probability you'll get something done. So I'm positive that you will see better and better results, because we're going to focus on implementing the things that are unarguable before we get into the more technical, arguable points about the final point. So again, I want to say thank you.
In this regard, UNIDO is closely collaborating with the African Union to scale up technical assistance delivered to African countries in order to promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization.